Thanks for asking. Okay, just for Zoom, for the recording, I got back out. So I'm going to VI or edit that file again. Okay, so ENS33, we've got DHCP set to true. That's what we need, right? All right, so what do we need to put in here for our other internet connection? You know what, before we get into editing this, we probably ought to get out and look at our IP, our network configuration. Okay, so I have an ENS33 here. Okay, that's my NAT connection. So where's my connection for my other? I think I added it, but I think I disabled it. Is that what we did? We disabled it?
Yeah, I disabled it.
Okay. When you guys do an IP space A, do you get two interfaces showing up? You do? Chance says he's got two of them. Okay, if you've got two of them, whatever that other one is, ENS 34, 36, 37. Okay, so you need to create a stanza in that net plan file, that configuration file for that. So those of us who don't have our connection here, we need to figure out how to enable that second interface. So let's look up here on our settings and make sure we've got that adapter. Oh, I don't even have an adapter. Okay, so I need to add a second adapter. So I'm going to add another adapter. And I want to put it on the right network, right? It should go on the internal network. Okay, when I do that, and I do an IP space A, I get ENS 37 showing up. Okay? Does everybody have that now? All right, so let's get back in. Knowing that we need to configure ENS 37, let's go back into our net plan configuration. And set things up for our second device. Okay, does anybody remember this off the top of their head? Okay, well, let's search for Ubuntu net plan static IP. Okay, if we search for that in our favorite search engine, net plan static IP configuration, this one looks promising. Let's click on that. See if we can find an example that we can follow along. Okay, this one has an example that we could follow here. Okay, but remember we used this gateway 4 last time, and it complained about that. And so we found the updated version of that. So let's type in part of this, and then we can go find the replacement for this. Okay, so under Ethernets, we need to add a new entry here for, okay, remember that it's very important that we get our spacing set up. Remember, NetPlan works off of the initial spaces in front of our entries. Okay, so we want ENS 37 set up there. Okay, do we want DHCP4? We want to say no or false. I think either one works. In the example, they have no, but I think false also works. Okay, then we need addresses. Okay, what IP address do we want to set for this? Our internal address, whatever that is. I'm on my file server, so I want to use whatever IP address range you chose for your internal network with that on the end of it. Okay, so we need to specify that for the address. No. This should be a host-only network. Yeah. Okay, I filled in some name servers, some IP addresses for my name servers. So we need to go back and we need to add a line for the route. So let's see if we can figure out what our gateway 4 should be. So let's go back over here. Gateway 4 route. Net plan. Gateway 4 has been deprecated, use default route. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so this is what we have in our old, this is the old style, and then this is the new style that replaces it down here. So we want to have routes, colon, indented -2 via, okay? So we need to include that there. Okay, and what am I setting up for the default route on this? Okay, I should be setting the IP address for my network for the firewall, okay, that I don't have yet on my network, but I will eventually. Okay, so yeah, hopefully we'll get that up next week. Yeah, your name servers, you can just use a public name server on here. You know, I don't even know if those will matter because we won't be able to contact off of our host only network. We won't be able to contact it. Let's include them. We'll see what happens with it. Okay, so that should take care of our network configuration for our file server. All right, does everybody have that? Okay, we'll hit escape, save the file. What do we do now? Mr. Net Plan? Net Plan apply? Okay, I think we're missing a step. You don't know that. Net Plan apply is certainly something we need to do. net plan generate. Okay, the first thing we need to do is generate. Basically, we take this, convert it into some binary format, okay, that we can then apply. So we need to generate it first, and then we need to do net plan apply. If you have made an error in your spaces or your formatting for your YAML file, this net plan generate is going to detect those. And if you get an error, it's probably because you got a typo somewhere in there. Okay, so if you got an error on net plan generate, go back and fix it until you get a clean run. And when you apply it, it should work, and we should be able to do an IP space A and have an IP address that shows up.
What is it recording?
What is what? Oh, you got into a VI recording mode. It's a way you can record keystrokes. Hit escape, :Q, Q to get out of recording mode.
You've done that before.
I have. I just not finger this thing. That's nobody's business.
That's not the
Let's
first time.
try right.
I know, I was like, this sounds really fun.
Yeah. You just stop doing things.
You can do it, buddy. We believe in you.
I appreciate it.
Okay,
There it is.
cat out that file, make sure it looks right.
What? I'm sorry, cat what?
Cat out the file. That file that you just edited,
Yeah, what about it?
cat it out.
Yeah, you keep saying that. I'm sorry.
No, it isn't.
All right, yeah. All right. Mhm. Yeah, that looks right.
Like an avid custom.
Oh my God, it does.
Does that look all right?
That does look all right.
Okay, then do a net plan generate.
Oh, man.
Apparently it's still early in the morning.
It is.
Okay,
Well, so variously.
okay, did everybody get an IP address to show up? Did anybody who didn't care to admit it? Okay,
Wait, no. So let's see, ENS 33. Yeah, 37, I did not.
okay. Did you do the generate and apply?
That's not generated.
Yep, and what happened? Oh, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
So did you do the apply? You have to do net plan apply. Get rid of the generate.
Yeah.
Now try an IP space A. Now you have an IP address.
There it is. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
Oh, I'll admit. Cut it off my hand very quickly.
okay. I would argue that you're not.
I appreciate that. That's not, and then even it's not just because of
You
pain.
might make some mistakes,
Yeah.
okay? You might take some shortcuts, okay? But yeah, just the simple fact that you're sitting here in this classroom in this college, okay?
There it is.
I know right there you are not dumb.
That I am pointed in some version of the correct.
I said,
We don't-
students, you're saying
Okay, well,
because you're sitting here in this classroom, you're not dumb. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I mean.
All right.
Oh, that's.
you guys are much harder on yourselves than you should be. All right, so let's go back over and look at our web server. Has everybody got a login prompt on the web server? Is everybody rebooted on that? MJ? Can you put down your phone long enough to check?
As he shouldn't. As he should not. I agree.
Do I complain about it most of the time? No, very rarely. Okay, yeah. You know, I know you guys are playing games and we're texting messages on your phone. I don't know who you're texting. Everybody else you know is asleep. Or they should be.
If I text somebody right now, they right here just to hit me.
I woke up early and I'm laying awake in bed. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, it's too early, it's too cold, I'm not getting up. And my phone beeps and I'm like, anyway, I pick it up, it's my sister. She lives here in the valley on the other side of the valley. I'm like, What are you doing texting me at 5 o'clock in the morning? Leave me alone. Anyway, I had to apologize because she invited me over for dinner, but
At 5 in the morning?
she did. Yeah. Well, not for dinner at 5 in the morning.
That's not an apology.
She she invited me over for dinner in a couple of weeks.
Okay, that could have waited until at least 8 o'clock.
It could have, yes, but she was awake, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, whatever reason. Yeah. Okay. Do we have login prompts on our web server? You know what? As long as you get the job done.
That's it.
You know the story of the tortoise and the hare, right? Okay.
I was gonna say, that happens the minute I go from hourly to salary, like, welcome to, I will get it done.
That's just slow, that's all it is.
Okay. Well, we need to duplicate the IP address configuration on our web server. So those of you who have that done, okay, go ahead and jump in there and configure that. You can repeat the configuration that we did here. Okay, for those of you who have your Rocky system up and running, okay, we should have got that installed and configured. Our Rocky system, we can check our network setup on our Rocky system. We should have a NAT connection. For me, that's on ENS 160. For ENS 192, that's my host-only connection on my internal network. So at this point, I should be able to communicate between the two systems, right? So my file server is at 53, I think. So I should be able to ping. Should be able to ping.
Were you seeing intelligence like how long ago?
That was nothing. That was nothing. I was sitting in an engineering class when I was in school years ago, and it was a terraced classroom, you know, with a kind of an amphitheater, and the floors were like that hard formica kind of stuff that they put on raised floors in computer rooms. And we had tables like this, but they were bolted to the ground, bolted so you couldn't move them. And we had chairs with rollers on them. And so one guy, you know, so you could roll around on them, you know, slide all over the place. And this one guy was tilted back in the chair with rollers on it, with his feet tucked up under the desk in front of him, so he wouldn't fall over. Well, he's back there like that, and all of a sudden the rollers got just enough underneath him that he went over backwards. And with the chair, the plastic chair hitting the floor, it just bam! Everybody in class, including the professor, just bust out laughing.
Yeah, probably. Something you're driving on. He's doing something you're utilizing.
That was actually an electrical engineering class, so
That's
yeah.
definitely better in every way, for sure.
Yeah, well, he's designing the computers you're using now.
Is it?
I don't know.
It was sarcastic.
I don't know a whole lot of electrical engineers that are actually designing.
No, most engineers are not doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. Work at a dam?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, power generation. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, did everybody get, does everybody have Rocky and one of your Ubuntu systems? Can you ping between the two of them? Oh, you're still working on it? Okay. Okay, that's another thing we need to do is run updates on all of our systems, take snapshots.
So the question was. System and route.
Is that all that you specified on the first machine that we did in the net plan? Or did you, because I was, I thought I remember you doing like routes to default or something like that.
Yeah, so the net plan that we did on, you were watching what I was doing. I didn't think anybody was watching me. I was trying to sneak it in there. So in this configuration file on the file server, when we went in, we did the exact same configuration that we did previously when we did a static IP address. Okay, we went through the whole process. We added routes, we added name servers, etc. Okay, on the configuration, look what happens when we do that. Okay, if I exit out of here and I do an IP space A, we see that we've got the IP address that we wanted. Okay, but if we do IP, how do we look at routes?
No, IP route.
IP route, okay, or IPR, IP route. Okay, look what happened when we did. Okay, so we've got two default routes. See what I'm looking at, Michael? So we've got two default routes. Which one's going to take precedence? The top one. Okay, the first one in the list. This is the order which we're going to implement them. So if I try and communicate with, say, Google, where's that traffic going to go?
To the non-existent firewall.
To the non-existent firewall. Am I going to be able to get to Google? No. Am I going to be able to get updates to apply to my system? No. So I need to get rid of this route. Okay. Part of the reason we did this is because this is the way we did it on our original system. Okay. But part of the reason I let us do that is because I wanted you to see what would happen. Okay. So we can either manually delete this route and leave it there for next time when we get our system up on the host only network only. Is that too many onlys there? Only on the host only network. Okay. When this one will take effect, when this one will actually do something, or we can remove it from our configuration file. The name servers aren't doing anything either. So if you look at my configuration on my web server, okay, here in the configuration on my web server, I circumvented all of that route stuff and just gave it an address. So all I'm providing is a static IP address, the appropriate mask for it. And now when I look at my network configuration, I have an IP address on that network, but if I look at the routes that I have configured, IP space R, okay, you see I've only got one default route and it's going out through my NAT network. So I won't have that problem on my web server. Okay, so you can, oh, there's an OLA here too. We can change the configuration of our file server. We can change the net plan configuration of the file server and get rid of that route, or we can manually do it. But you just need to be aware that that route is in there, and then it might cause you some problems when you're trying to update. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Did everybody else get it? You still look confused.
No, I just can't see.
Oh, okay.
It's me. It's my face.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, that would be like the route to use, right? Through the firewall? You want to go through the firewall?
Yes. Eventually, we would want that route to be our default route, but it's causing some problems here. Before we get to that point, when we're on both networks, it's going to cause some problems.
So if I just go into the YAML file, just comment the routes, fix that.
Yes. Yep. Then you'll have to do another generate apply cycle, but yes.
You don't have a specified on the website. Yes. And then that went on. Change the file. Yeah.
Okay, we've got about 45 minutes left in class. We've got okay, we've installed Rocky, our web server, and our file server. So we've got these three systems. There's still a little bit of configuration that we need to do, okay, in terms of getting all the IP addresses set up and configured, and getting all of the patches applied to these three systems. Okay, I have not installed my Linux Mint system, so I'm going to go do that now since we've got enough time to complete that in this class session. So if you guys want to follow along, you're welcome to join me. If you've already done that, then you're welcome to continue working on these systems and make sure you've got full connectivity. All these three systems should be able to talk to each other over this network, okay, before we're done. All right, so I'm going to install my Linux Mint system. If you've already done it, you can ignore what we're doing here.
Download my Linux Mint.
Who's following along with me just so I can, okay, we've got a couple of people.
Yeah, hold on
All
one
right.
second so I can download
Yeah, you're not going to finish in time.
Imagine
They're stacked right there.
Probably not.
I'm
I-
recording the Zoom.
I told you to download all this stuff before, right? Okay. All right, so it's not my fault you're not ready to go.
You're not wrong.
Okay, that's all that matters to me. All right. All right, she's recording it. So if you want the recording, you can follow along later. All right, so has everybody got this populated right? Okay, so one of the tricks with Linux Mint is we need to select the right version of Linux. And the best one for Linux Mint is Debian 10.x 64-bit. Okay. If you're using Kali or some other distribution, this is probably not exactly what you want, but for Linux Mint, that's going to be the best version. So select 10.x 64-bit, and we're ready to go. Okay, we're going to change this name. I said I was going to call my system Terry since this is my testing system. Okay, on this one, we don't need any particular disk setup configuration. Okay, whatever comes by default. Whatever it comes by default, we can just select the defaults here. So I'm going to leave the disk size at 20 gig. We don't need to change the hardware at all. We don't need any additional disk drives. We can click on finish. Once that finishes, we can power it on and go through the installation process. Okay. So one of the things about Linux Mint is that by default, it just starts Linux Mint and gives you a operating system running off of the CD. Okay, it doesn't install it. So we're going to click on this Start Linux Mint. Okay, but that's not going to give us the installation process. So go ahead and hit enter. When we get the desktop that comes up, we actually have to click on the install icon so that it actually starts the install process. So Mr. Sizzle asked about the recording and said, are you going to post that somewhere? So yeah, if you want to share it, maybe you can get a free t-shirt out of it or something.
He doesn't have any of the t-shirts.
Oh,
I'll buy you.
okay.
Yeah, she already has.
Yeah, I'll post it somewhere.
There's some like hotcakes. Mabel already has 2. So.
Okay, so once it comes up, this icon here actually installs it. So at this point, we don't have anything installed to our hard disk. It's just running off of CD. Oh, we forgot to put another network card in here, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, and maybe it'll, let's go to settings, network adapter. We want to add one of those. Yeah, we can do it with machine on.
It'll restore it.
So we want to put this needs to be on the external network, right? Not the internal. Okay, so we need to connect that second adapter to the external and then click on OK, and it should go reconfigure that so that we now have the second network adapter there. Okay, so now during the installation process, hopefully it'll recognize both of those and give us an opportunity to configure them. So if we just double click on the CD icon here, that should start the installation process. Should start the installation process. Should start. Maybe I didn't double click fast enough. There we go. I had to quadruple click. Okay, I think most of you can walk through the installation process here. We actually did this in intro, modern ops. But okay, well, if you've been doing Ubuntu, this is going to seem pretty easy. All right, so English, we can go ahead and click on English. We want English. Select the default keyboard layout. We don't need the multimedia codecs. We're not going to be watching any YouTube videos. Why would you watch them in a virtual system when you can watch them on your real system?
What if they have a computer virus in the YouTube video?
What kind of YouTube videos do you watch?
I like
Okay.
to watch them on really bad resolution and lag to pretend like I'm in the early 2000s again.
Okay. There you go. All right, erase the disk and install. Okay, this warning here is just telling you, hey, you're installing data, overwriting any data on a disk. That's a new disk for us. So click on install now.
You also put the sound in the background. Occasionally just turn it all off.
Keep clicking through all of the default settings here to install it. Make sure you're in the Denver time zone.
how the different distros of Linux react to my password. Some things
I
are
was very, very,
Yeah.
very, very strong. It's the exact same password.
Oh, really?
No difference.
Huh. I love the ones that complain about it's being too short, but they go, okay, if you want to be stupid, go for it. Did your download finish?
It did, yes. Oh, yeah, I'm
Oh.
actually not too far behind.
Oh, okay. You don't need those codecs.
Oh, I know, it's like.
Oh.
It just takes.
Okay.
No, I think that I have to rush to compensate for being stupid. You're dumb, you gotta be tough. Oh.
Yeah.
I am pretty. I dress well, pretty. You guys are lucky to be by me.
Yes,
You know, I'm
yes,
so humble.
yes, we are.
Does dress well.
I do. Thank you.
But once I stop looking at your clothes, then we start.
That's why we try to make them flash, so you know.
Good job.
Wow.
I
Wow.
know where my skills are. Where I need to compensate. No, I get it.
Have you?
He doesn't respond at all. I go down. Like I did everything. I'm just like fucking kill itself. I don't know.
You know. Dang, I got the green bar like filled up and then it just went away.
It was like, no. You are making negative progress.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of let's be for a minute. Oh, I changed my computer name. Oh, good point. But security. So was my password as a security risk. All right. It's not like even the first mistake I'm making of it.
I used the same password for all of them were like, oh, it's a strong password. This was like, that's fair.
Yeah, like, no, mine is like. Password? Yes, my password. And it's like, booyah. Oh, by the way, you didn't hear that. Better than mine.
Double checking for the Mint installation.
Oh my gosh, that is.
Yes. Yep. Debian 10, was it 10.x, 64-bit? Yeah. Yep.
What was that? The Star Wars. Spaceballs. This is the Red Ranch. Yeah, that's the same password some idiot would have on his luggage.
Hey, Aaron. Yeah. Is your device discoverable through network?
I mean, it's not. No. Don't worry.
Which device is host or is virtual? Oh,
Because it was host machine.
He wants to see if he can log in just to mess around.
I should be able to switch to that.
I think on the student network, on the network that you guys connect to here, I think interconnectivity is prohibited.
As it should be.
Hop over to the Pi network. Shall we test it?
Yeah. Give it a try. What's your real IP address?
170 on my laptop.
Oh, on your host. Yeah.
I'm certain it is because I've sent shutdown commands.
Which is exactly why it's turned off.
Exactly why I'm aware. However,
Yeah.
it's also assured me that it's also really funny.
Okay. Am I the first one to this point?
Yeah.
I did it.
You got it?
I did it.
You got there
Yes,
before me?
yes.
Oh my gosh. Look what plugging it in does for you.
It took a minute to work. It has to be fully charged, still on the charger.
Okay.
Who says I have a full minute left?
Okay. Well, I'm going to restart mine.
But I think it's your name.
Yeah, it must just be the same.
So notice well, it's gone now, but that icon, install Linux Mint, that'll change and it'll just tell me that it's got the CD. Okay. If the CD is mounted, it'll just tell me it's the CD image, but it won't say install Linux Mint. Okay. So that's the difference. Once you install it,
I have run here.
did anybody stay up late to watch the election results? You just, did anybody stay up late and play games?
Doing English.
I went to
Oh.
bed.
I went to bed.
Okay.
I was until 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was there. So I did see the results, but only by
Okay.
happenstance.
Okay.
I know both sides are happy, so.
Yeah. Well, are they ever?
No, they're not.
No,
They never are.
no.
Which in my mind means that we're doing something right. It's like
I like it.
divorce. It's like a divorce judge, right? If either party leaves happy, then the judge did not do their job right.
Right. Okay. For those of you who are done with Linux Mint on the installation, okay, one thing we do need to do is we need to go in and configure our network. Okay, remember we have 2 network connections. One should be on NAT, one should be on our external network on our diagram. Okay, so we don't have DHCP, so our second network probably won't get configured correctly. So we can click on the icon here to get to networking, or we can go to the menu button and go to our settings. There's a whole bunch of other stuff in settings, like we can change the display resolution, which I'm going to do really quick to get out of this 800 by 600 minuscule nonsense. So let's do that. Oops, I don't want that. I would just want landscape. Come down, apply that. Whew, got a little more real estate. Get out of here. Keep configuration. Okay, so, let's do the network configuration. So let's go to network settings. Okay, here we have 2 network connections, ENS33 and ENS36. ENS33 should be on our NAT network. For me, the NAT network is .8 here in the 3rd octet, so that is correct. Okay, we've got IPv6 turned on this. We could disable that if we wanted to. If you want to, you can go down here to the gear icon, go to IPv6, and we can turn IPv6 off by just sliding that slider bar there. That's going to disable IPv6 for that connection. We can apply that. Okay, in order to make it take effect here, to lose this address, we need to turn this off and back on. Okay, the last couple times we've been using this on button slides across, but it doesn't work. Okay, so you have to come down here to the icon in the corner, down here, and re-enable, which one is it? They're both the same. Let's try that one. There we go. Okay, so for some reason, that's the second one that's listed. Okay, so turning that back on got me my same IP address, but now I don't have the IPv6. Okay, so let's go change this ENS36. Okay, this is where we want to have a static IP address. So again, we need to go to our gear icon there in the lower right corner. We want to disable IPv6, so let's turn that off. We want to go to IPv4 and change the configuration there. instead of automatic, we want a manual configuration. And we need to put in the IP address. Oops, this is not 172 for me. It's 10.22.4.101 is the IP address that I've chosen for my external. Okay, so I'm using this IP address here. The network is 10.22.4 IP address 101. Okay, or host 101. So that's the IP address that I need to put in there. Okay, the net mask is 255.255.255.0 and the gateway 172. You know what? Let's leave the gateway blank. Okay, let's turn off automatic DNS.
If I have the gateway configured, should I delete it?
You might have the same problem here that we had if we configure a gateway in the other system. It might conflict with your NAT configuration. Okay, because you want most of your traffic to go out through the NAT network while we're updating and things like that. If you put a gateway here, it's going to cause the traffic to go to a non-existent Gen 2 firewall. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So when we click on apply here, we should get that our connection has been established. So one thing that's kind of confusing on these things is the names of the network. Okay, connection 1, connection 2, like that. So if you go to, I think it's the identity tab here, we can change the name so that it matches the connection. Okay, so I can change this to ENS 36. And if I wanted to call that external, EXT, I could add that in there. And then when I apply that and look at my connections, oh, it didn't take effect there. But it should, shouldn't it? Go to identity here. This one I'm going to change to ENS 33. Call that NAT. Click on apply. Okay, so now if I come down here, let's turn both of these off. Turn both of them back on. Yeah, it didn't help. Okay. I thought it would help, but it didn't. All right, so we've got both of them up, both IP addresses configured for our testing system. Okay, so we need to do updates on all 4 systems and snapshots on all 4 systems, and we should be good to go. Any questions? Anybody stuck on something? Sure.
So I configured the work machine with you guys, I believe, on Monday.
Yep.
I went to start it up today, and it just has this dash line. I tried to restart the machine.
Keeps coming up to that. Okay.
It won't progress past.
Let's see what's going on here. Control escape, Control Alt. Get me out of here. Settings.
Fortunately, apparently did not make a snapshot of this one. I made a snapshot of the one that doesn't matter. So
And this is your Rocky system.
yeah. I got it to start up and go to the desktop yesterday. I believe. For some reason, I went to start it today and it just broke. Yeah.
Let me watch it. Let's see what happens here. And it just keep it, even when you're
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it. Just does that. Not sure how I broke.
So on your File Explorer on your host, navigate to where you keep your virtual systems. Yeah, go ahead and click on that. Scroll down. Is that it? Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and go back up to the down arrow on your pause button, next to your pause button. Let's just power it off. Go. No, not shut. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so let's right click. No. So right click on your on the tab up here or on your system, right click on one of those and go to manage. And let's go. No, that's not what we want. Go back to your home tab. And click on open a virtual machine. And navigate back to your virtual machines directory to Ulrich. Yeah, double click. Yeah, double click there and click on that second one, the VMX file. Click on open. Let's click on power on. Yeah, that is host.
I guess I'll just have to remake it.
I love that that's technical stuff too. That's official.
It did come up with a little pop-up down there. I just saw it said something about universally disabled on this machine or something. I didn't quite catch it.
Where was that?
It was a notification from VMware. It was just right down here. Came up with a little notification that said universally disabled. It just flashed really quick. And we didn't see it.
Are you sure that that's what it said? You could try and search for that in Google, see if you could find, or DuckDuckGo, see if you can find something on universally disabled.
Yeah, if I can.
Okay.
It's not that big a deal.
Okay.
It's just annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. That's interesting. Thank you.
Another network that we set up. The 10 dot.
Yeah.
7 address, second adapter.
Other things that would.
Probably not, because it should just go through the net for everything except for. When it goes into the fire. And then, I'm assuming .8.8.8.
How much are we gonna charge?
I haven't decided yet. I'm sure we'll negotiate something.
What are you charging for?
Professor, I think you may have given too much power.
What did I do?
Network control distribution. Crucial information.
Yep.
So has everybody downloaded Gen 2?
They gotta be ISO for it.
Okay,
Yeah, so it'll be really small.
it's not very big. Um,
Like another one.
But yeah, get that. We're going to start that on Monday. So let's get that. Let's get that downloaded so we can start in on that.
John alphabet. There's no reason for it to be in there. I saw them, you got the rest of the both.
So Brooke,
Yeah.
when you said if you make a channel in the Discord for this class, who were you talking about? Who was the you?
Bacon.
Oh, Bacon. Okay.
Are you allowed to make student discords?
I don't know.
I think they take.
Hell.
I don't know. I have access to Discord and I use it very rarely. I am not I don't use Discord enough to know how to do that. The Discord.
Minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
For what?
These updates.
These ones?
Yeah. The ones that take me absolutely no time.
Same exact thing.
I've never seen a computer say, I don't know, maybe run this. Never
Y'all
seen
gotta
a
do this
computer
twice.
say the
There's
word.
something I'm missing.
When it's there. It says unable to fetch some archives, maybe run after get upgrade. I don't know.
Maybe you
It
did.
just locks up on you?
Just locks up on me.
I did that and it.
I see the sheet, okay.
Is that the users and groups? There's also just stop working.
Try pausing the system.
And then readers.
Yep.
I feel like at the end of
Cool.
Did that work?
No, that's something that's below us.
What you can't click on anything? So what did you select for the configuration? Go up to your tab there, right click, go to settings. Oh, you're gonna have to pause it. Oh, no, that's where that works. That's fine. Go to the options tab at the very top. Right there, options.
Is that a question for us?
Dude, get updated again.
OS 864.
Apps dash get.
I don't know.
I mean, I can redo it all, but.
Did you get Rocky installed and running at one point?
At one point, yeah, but then I deleted the.
Yeah.
Cleaned it
Going through
out,
the whole
the
thing again.
system, so,
Try.
yeah, I had to do at least a download on.
Install.
Yeah.
Just some virus.
I'll play with it.
There's the download right there, the ISO. Okay.
Oh, it just took real long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It was working.
It didn't tell me to maybe run something else. Progress. It wasn't even, I didn't even see the whole thing, it was a maybe, and then it said, or this question mark. I was like, how is the operating system gonna ask me a question about a command?
Maybe, I don't know, I'm just the operating system, I don't know why, I don't work here.
Honestly, I bet that like where they are, they probably hit that. Something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of crack.
Good house at the wall, all chairs, white. Security guard that walking by and just stared at them the entire time we walked by, not even blinking. Do anything.
Should ask you about his experience with crack. You should ask you about your experience with crackheads. Specifically, Jim.
Time.
Little change you do tomorrow.
Brooke, if you ever talk to Karen, she showed up to class a bit late and asked for the Zoom codes. I just saw it now. So she probably would want a copy of the video as well. So if you can share it with her, let her know it's there.
Probably, I think I should be able to put them in like the discussions for in the LMS for this class. And that way,
Okay,
if that's okay with you, that's.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine by me.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So tomorrow we are going to have one more lab. Okay, I'm going to move the SSH configuration lab up from next week or the week after, and see if we can get that done tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow we're just, other than the SSH lab, I'll walk through one configuration of that. And then the rest of the class tomorrow will be a work session. Yeah, we just need to get everything updated, everything ready to go so that when we start on Monday, we've got kind of a clean slate. We don't have to worry about anything else. So we can focus on Gen 2. It's going to be fun. You're going to love it, but it's going to be a little challenging. So
Actually looking forward to it more than I probably should.
yeah. The cool thing about Gen 2 is that all of the stuff that we've been talking about last sprint, just kind of, it tests all of that. You have to understand all of it. Yeah, it kind of